And here we go. Digital Adel back with another Digital Adel Hoops Beyond the Backboard podcast for you with my co-host, Matt Hanifan. How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. I'm tired, but I'm doing
Yeah,
good. I'm hanging in there.
I hear
How
you,
about
dude,
yourself?
man. I've been super busy. I got right off work of my main job, and then I went and I made some food. I made some spaghetti. It was delicious. Um, I ate it like 2 minutes before we got on here because it got done like right before we were supposed to do this podcast. So got really lucky with that. Did some household chores after work, took the garbage out, and all the regular things you got to do. But I'm with you. I'm actually not that tired. I'm actually really wired and excited. Casper Shakachonis may actually see meaningful minutes for the Miami Heat. I mean,
I
probably
mean,
not.
is that a
Probably
guarantee?
not. No,
Like,
probably not.
yeah.
But Eric Spoelstra was asked about it from Ira Winderman, and he gave a response that was not no. He said, to paraphrase, he said, Casper Shakachonis is not in the G League for a reason. And I like what he's been doing. I liked what he was doing every G League game. He's getting better, blah, 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 regular coach speak.
I mean, he's been in the G League for half the season. He's played 1 minute.
But he's said he's kept him with the team. He could have sent him back to the G League. That's what he said. That's what he's saying, man. You gotta read between the tea leaves of what Coach Spo is putting down. You're not buying it, are you?
No. I mean, it's like I'm not buying it in the sense that, like, yes, I'm happy he's with the team, but like that doesn't mean he's gonna play or anything like that. Which,
True.
I mean, not saying I don't hope that's not the case. Like, I hope that's the case. I hope he does play. But
Right. No, I'm with you. Well, you know what? We were going to do the What's on SI segment. We'll do that after. We'll go around the NBA really quickly. I forgot to pull the chat up. Let me do that really quickly so we can see if any of our viewers that are watching have anything to say. But if you do, drop a comment. I'm going to leave today's article from OnSI in the chat so you can kind of get a head start. If you haven't read it yet, this is the latest one from me, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So around the league real quick. And again, I'm excited. I'm wired today. No idea why. Only had 1 cup of coffee. Yesterday, I had 2 cups of coffee and 2 Sprites, and I never drink soda. So how am I more wired today than I was yesterday? Explain it to me.
I couldn't give you an explanation.
I have none either. I don't know, but I'm super excited. So let's talk about Con Knipple some more on this channel. Versus Cooper Flag for Rookie of the Year, because it looks like right now those are the 2 front runners for Rookie of the Year. You could throw in Cowherd. You could throw in VJ Edgecombe because he had an amazing start to the season and kind of tailed off. Do me a favor, Matt, really quick, just some for behind the scenes because you keep freezing up. Take off your virtual background if you can for me because I think it's using too much of your internet resources. I mean, you could try the blurred background. Maybe it's less intensive, but something's using your bandwidth, which is causing you to freeze.
There
you go.
Let's try that.
There you go. I bet you that's what
there
the
we
problem
go.
is. Yeah, he's back. No, he froze up again. It had nothing to do with the virtual background. Your internet provider is conking out on you. It's like maybe we'll let you stream, maybe we will not. I think
Now
that's
it's
what's
normal.
happening. Now it's normal again. All right, so Con Knipple versus Cooper Flag. We caught some flack because I put out this clip. Now, I just want to let people behind the scenes. I clip our program with an AI program that clips it for us, and it came up with a headline I didn't fully vet. So whenever when the guy brought it to my attention, I was just as surprised as he was. But the headline said, Cooper Flag, a bust? And then we talked about Cooper Flag's struggles to start the season. But that wasn't what we were going for at all. That really wasn't. AI was completely wrong on what we were talking about. And it generated a headline that is indeed controversial and people will talk about. But it had nothing to do with what we were actually talking about. So, no, we don't think Cooper Flag's a bust. I mean, we thought he was a borderline generational player. I don't think he's with that tier of generational players, but he's unbelievable player. But with that, Cooper Flag got off to a slower start, picked it up recently with the 42-point game. Cooper Flag. Con Knipple has just been super consistent all the way through. He's been shooting the cover off the ball, fits seamlessly, beating the closeouts, getting to the rim, assisting, being a leader. His leadership has been outstanding on a team that was devoid of leadership because LaMelo Ball was running the ship for a very long time. Although all the people in the Hornets land want to talk about how good of a leader LaMelo Ball has been and they don't get the narrative, it's there for a reason. LaMelo Ball is not a very good leader, not a serious basketball player. What are your thoughts so far, Rookie of the Year, Con Knipple, Cooper Flag, or anybody else you want to throw in the mix?
I would probably, if I were to just pick one today, it'd probably be Con. Just because of like he's been doing it the whole season, but at the same time, like if you look at the numbers, they're pretty comparable in points per game. They're pretty comparable in rebounds per game. It's just like they're pretty comparable everywhere. I think another reason why I would give it to Con is he's been more efficient.
Yeah.
Like the thing with Cooper early in the season was, I mean, this has still been the case, so it's not like anything new, is that
Right.
he's just not shooting the ball well. Like he's finishing around the rim very well. Or at least he's doing better in that area.
Right.
But his 3-point shooting has not been there. I'm not worried about that long term or anything like that. But
Right.
Con shooting 41% from 3 on like pretty steady volume, while being one of their best passers, while being one of their better, point of attack defenders, while being one of their, better rebounders. Not that Coop hasn't done any of those things because he has, but like I think Con's been more consistent with it. So I'd give him like the slight edge right now. But like Coop's surge lately is because he wasn't playing point guard.
Yeah.
Or that's it's a big like reason why. Like Brandon Williams and Ryan Nembhard have kind of steered that ship in a much more successful direction offensively. Like you could just look at the numbers when either of those two guys are on the floor versus when none of them are on the floor, and it's Coop having to do a lot of the creation burden or creation responsibility, and like it's just not. There's a big delta in the terms of production between those two guys and him, and like while I think over his career Coop is going to be a guy that has the ball in his hands a lot, he's 18 years old and that's just not his bag right now. Like that's just not something that you can rely on him doing right now. Even though he's a very smart, intuitive player,
right?
He's just not. That's not something that he should be doing yet. And I think Dallas kind of figured that out pretty quickly because of how dormant their offense was at the start of the season, and now they've kind of picked up the slack a little bit. It's obviously still not great. There's been dudes in and out of the lineup. Derek Lively's now out for the season with an injury. Anthony Davis returned within the last, I think, like few weeks or a month. There's just been like a lot of, fluctuation in terms of their rotation, at least at the start.
Yeah.
But I would probably give the slight edge to Con if I were to choose between the two of them. It's not a big gap. You could convince me either way.
Right.
But I think Coop has closed that gap significantly. And then you get into that next year where it's VJ, whether it's I think Jeremiah Fears and Queen have played above their head. Cedric Coward's obviously a name to be talked about here. Dylan Harper, I know he's only played 15 games, but I think his name warrants some mentioning here. Those are kind of like the next tier of guys, and then you get into your Colin Murray Boyles, you get into who else? I mean, it thins out pretty quickly. I mean,
it does. It definitely thins out pretty quick. I agree with that.
Trey Johnson too, Ace Bailey.
Man, it's criminal what's happening with Trey Johnson. I know he had the hip flexor. I know there may have been some sort of minutes restriction based on that. And when he's come back, I mean, he's really only played like 19, 20 minutes a game. And every time he steps on the floor, and it goes beyond with the numbers he's putting up, they start winning. He leaves the floor and they start losing. There's a direct correlation. And it isn't just because he's that great of a player. The gravity that he creates, because he shoots the ball so effortlessly from deep, and then he beats the close and will shoot a fadeaway over you and make it consistently at a high level, shoots free throws at a high level. He has to play more for that team, don't you think?
He will at some point.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this before, like after the All-Star break, whenever they decide to just stop playing Middleton and McCollum or trade them or whatever, then it'll happen. I get it. I get it, man. I don't like it, but I get it. All right, so
And a couple of other guys I forgot to mention here are Kalkbrenner and Zion James.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you this. Ryan Nembhard or Zion James for the most underrated rookie that's playing the best?
I would throw another guy into that mix.
Go for it.
Will Richard.
Oh, yeah. He's been really terrific. He does all the little things. For Golden State.
Not saying I would take Will Richard. I would just also want
yeah, he's in that mix.
That conversation.
For sure. He's in that mix. I get exactly what you mean. Absolutely. Well, let's pivot here for a moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like it says at the bottom of the channel, the little ticker going by. We're trying to get fancy around here. And also, follow us on social media. I'm Digital Adel. That's Matt Hanifan. I didn't put his because I'd have to do mathematics to remember his Twitter handle to put on there. But yeah, follow us on social media as well. We're going to pivot. We're going to talk about what we've done on Sports Illustrated's website, OnSI. So we're going to do our What's on SI segment right now. And what I want to talk about is the article that I wrote today. And so that article, I'll put it on the screen for the audience. It's basically what would the Pacers do if they won the NBA lottery? And I went on to talk about, here, let's do it like that. I went on to talk about Darren Peterson, because he's my number one on my big board still. He's the most polished prospect that I've seen in a very, very long time. He doesn't really have a weakness that I could think of. For Darren Peterson, his biggest weakness so far has been lack of explosiveness around the basket. But then when you find out he has a hamstring that he's been dealing with for like the entire season, basically, it starts to make a little bit of sense of what's happening with his hamstring, right? So, or with his lack of explosiveness. But at 6'5", 205, averaging 19, picture this. He has a hamstring problem. He's been averaging 19.3 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists, a effective field goal percentage of 63.2%, and a three-point percentage of 42%. I mean, he's been unbelievable. Can handle the ball with both hands, left or right, can finish with left or right. He'll shoot tough contested shots and make them at a pretty high clip, and he's dynamic in the passing lanes defensively. What do you think about me having Darren Peterson number one overall?
He's mine number one, so.
Oh, no. Spoiler alert. Matt
People
Hanifan.
who have listened to the show know that.
Well, Matt, we got to try to build some sort of drama and contention here somehow. But he's just unbelievable, that guy. And I don't even think he's playing his best basketball. Like, not even close.
No.
He's averaging 19.3 points per game. That's kind of an incredible thing to say. Like, in the efficiency, the fact that he's that efficient, it just blows me away. I also like that other player they have. I forget his name. He had a real big game last time they played. He had like 35, 36 points. I think he's number 11. He was absolutely outstanding for them. He's got this long, wiry, like strong frame. He can get into the lane kind of whenever he wants because he's very quick, and he's a dog defensively. I like that kid a lot, and he's starting to show that he can actually shoot. But that's what I wrote about for OnSI. If you want to view the whole article, I put it in the chat as well as the description of this podcast. We'll do this all year with the stuff we write. We'll put it in the link in the description of the podcast. We're going to move on to a very, very exciting matchup. And Matt, my brain is bad, and you have the young brain, so you're going to have to think for me. The Houston Cougars versus the Arkansas Razorbacks in college basketball. Darius Acuff versus Kingston Flemings. That matchup is on Friday. Is that right?
No, Saturday.
Saturday. I was close. One day off. All right. Saturday. I'm super duper excited for that matchup. The Louisville matchup with Mikel Brown Jr. versus Darius Acuff. I mean, that was just an incredible game to watch. You really got to see what separated Mikey Brown Jr. and Darius Acuff, and Acuff, like his poise and how much more polished he was than Mikey Brown or Mikel Brown. So I'm very interested to see head-to-head Kingston Flemings versus Darius Acuff. What are you looking forward to in that matchup?
I'm looking for a few different things. I'm looking for how Kelvin Sampson schematically decides to attack Acuff.
Right.
And then the other thing I'm looking for is, like, again, this is another big game for Flemings. He's been, I think, excellent this year in bigger, high level competition.
For sure.
How does he navigate Acuff? How does he navigate Billy Richmond, who's a guy who I kind of like? There's a few plays a game where, like, Billy, just completely blows up whatever the other team's doing defensively.
Yeah, Billy's a problem,
and athletic and instinctive he is on the ball.
Yeah, the Billy Goat.
Yeah, and he that's kind of what he did to shut Anderson down a little bit in the second half of that game against Texas Tech. Anderson was phenomenal in that game.
He was.
But Billy, kind of threw him for a loop a little bit a couple of different times. So
that big body and that athleticism, it could really wear on you whenever you have that guy full court pressing you like he was doing.
Like, I'm sure Cal's going to throw a bunch of bodies at Flemings, and I'm very curious to see how he responds, and then, vice versa with Acuff.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm really interested in this, so I'm going to give you one for each person. For Darius Acuff, I'm really interested to see how he finishes with that kind of length, because when you have Sinak and you have JoJo Tugler down there,
yeah,
I mean, that's a lot of length. Like, who has more length than that? Maybe Arizona, maybe
Florida,
and then I was going to say, and then Florida. Like, maybe, like, that's a lot to deal with, Sinak and JoJo Tugler down low.
So North Carolina with Wilson
and maybe North Carolina. Absolutely. There's some big college teams this year. We can't forget Michigan. They got Mara.
Oh, yeah,
they got Mara. They got Yaxel Lindenborg.
Michigan State's another one.
Yeah, dude, there's some really big teams in the NCAA right now, which is fantastic to see, because you didn't really see a lot of good big man play for a long time, in the NCAA. That NIL money, man, it keeps them, gets them in there. But so I'm really interested in that, how Acuff finishes in traffic. I said this last podcast. He doesn't remind me of CJ McCollum, the player, but he shares an attribute with McCollum. That's Darius Acuff, where he only goes as fast as he needs to. And in this game, he's going to have to do some quick separating, because they play defense. Houston plays defense hard. Milo Uzan, how do you pronounce his name?
Milos Uzan. And Emmanuel Sharp.
Yes. They will get into you and they will defend you. Kingston, he's a little guy, man. I mean, he's skinny. I mean, he's going to have to put some muscle on at the next level.
He's not that skinny.
He's skinny, Matt. Dude, he's skinny. He's athletic.
He's skinnier. He's not like a super skinny, like Jeremiah Fears skinny. He's not that skinny.
Even if Fears wasn't, Fears, I don't know what he was doing like throughout his college career, but he added muscle quicker than I've seen most freshmen. Like, from the beginning of the year to like the end of the year, I'm like, where'd all that muscle come from? Like, he didn't have it to start the year. But no, you're right. Kingston's got a little muscle to him. He's got a little muscle. But
He certainly plays like it.
well, because he's so quick and explosive, that force, he plays with force, Matt Hanifan. That's the difference. It's not that he's super strong. He plays with force. And so I'm interested for him to see with the defenders that Arkansas has, DJ Wagner, when Malik Thomas comes in, he's also wiry and long. He's not really that strong, but he's wiry and long. And then you have the Billy Goat when he comes in. Like, how does he handle some of that higher tier athleticism with the bigger frames and the bigger wingspans? And Darius Acuff, he's not a pushover point of attack. Like, if he gets switched out, it's not like oh my God, what's going to happen? They try to save him a little bit for the offensive end. That's why I think they put him off ball. But he's actually a pretty good defender. He does get lost, like you talked about, a little bit on screen. Sometimes he'll lose a little focus off ball. But on ball, he really competes, and because he's built like a tank, it's not like you're just going to run through him. Like, you got to cleanly beat him to get around him. So those are the two things I'm looking for in that game. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Houston versus the Arkansas Razorbacks?
It's just another data point for Senac.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Haven't popped off the page this year for him, but like I think he's shown some good moments.
Right.
On both ends of the floor. He's, I think his 3-point volume and efficiency has come down a little bit. That's been something that I think I may be a little bit wrong there. But I just in the games that I've watched, I haven't seen him shoot as many threes. I know that's something that he's shown he's capable of doing, is spreading the floor a little bit.
Right.
He's shooting 35% from three this year, albeit on low volume, 2 attempts per game. He's shooting only 56.3% at the free throw line. That's not great, but that's on 1.5 attempts per game.
Right.
But this is just another data point for him. And like, this is how you build trust. Is in these types of games.
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to do a little quick comparison to end the show. So here we go. We have on Tankathon, which is a very good comparison tool. Not saying it's always 100% accurate, but very good data comparison tool for free. So anyway, we have Kingston Flemings versus Darius Acuff. There's no way they weigh the same amount. There's no way they're both 190 pounds. I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit.
2 or 3 inches bigger than the other. That's the difference.
They're like 1 inch difference between the two of the guys. I don't even think
listed
they're
that way. I don't think that's actually true.
I can't wait for the combine to find out.
Yeah,
I really can't. I think Darius Acuff's like 200 pounds, like 205. He's built like a freaking football player.
That's probably a more accurate.
Dude, when you look at his traps and his shoulders of like how stocky he is, I'm like, there's just no way he weighs the same amount as Kingston. But anyway, so let's go through this tale of the tape a little bit. They both played 11 games. They both play about 30 minutes a game, slightly higher. And then we get into the points per game. Acuff takes that. Kingston, him and Kingston are pretty much the same in rebounding. Kingston gets a half a board more. And then assist, about the same. Their blocks are about the same. Kingston's in the passing lanes a little bit more. Neither one turns it over very much, and neither one of them foul very often. But look at that.
I have a hard time looking at Flemings because these last couple of games he's played like 5 minutes a game because they're beating New Orleans by
because of the blowouts
points. So it's like I don't know what to do with that.
What do you do with those blowouts? That's true. That's a good point. And it's going to inflate his field goal percentages but not the 3-point percentage. That 3-point percentage, no matter what, dude, you still got to shoot that thing from beyond the arc. 51% unsustainable.
Over his last 2 games, he's 1 of 4 from deep. He's shooting, quick math in my head, 7 of 12. So it's a little above 50%. Like, it's
still unbelievable, Matt.
No, it
7 of 12 is still unbelievable.
38 minutes the last 2 games combined. Like, I don't know.
I get it. I get it, dude. But when you're on the court, I can't
look at his box score right now. I just can't.
When you're on the court, you can only do what you could do, man. The numbers are fantastic.
Yeah. That Notre Dame game was a little rough, but
Yeah, for sure. Interestingly, Kingston doesn't get as much usage as Acuff.
no. Thank you, Milo Suzanne.
Is Milo Suzanne an NBA player?
Um,
Let me just try to establish that.
Not really.
I don't think he is.
I like Sharp.
Yeah, I like Sharp as well. He has a better
Think Sharp
chance.
would be like a fun 3-and-D guy at the next level.
Yeah, he has a chance at a 3-and-D spot for sure. But look at Kingston Flemings' advanced stats. Acuffs are unbelievable, but holy cow. His advanced stats are unbelievable. He's a really, really good basketball player. I mean, really, really good basketball player. So that's all we got for today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. Me and Matt, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're listening, this is new. If you're listening on any of the podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, the pod has been moved to Wednesdays and Fridays. The reason being is YouTube takes a full 24 hours for me to be able to download the show. It's not available right away like it used to be. So I got to wait 24 hours to get it downloaded and then uploaded the next day to the pod. So if that's how you're listening to us, that's why it's a day behind. We apologize, but it is what it is. Matt, tell the people where they can find you, follow you, and get more of your work.
You can find me at NPH_824_ on Twitter. You can find me at hothoops.com, VendettaSportsMedia.com, MountainWestConnection.com, and Orlando Magic on SI.
And you can find me, Digital Adel, anywhere social media is found. On Instagram, there's a underscore in the middle, so a digital_Adel. Also, find me on SI doing articles for NBA draft content for the Indiana Pacers, the Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, Memphis Grizzlies, and the Milwaukee Bucks. That is it for this Digital Adel Hoops podcast. We'll see you next.